silly season has already begun and there are a lot of drivers potentially on the move for 2025.
Oh, I like chaos. I like a bit of fire.
But where will they all go? We are going to try and predict just that.
Oh, so easy peasy.
Just a disclaimer, this was filmed before Lewis Hamilton signed with Ferrari, so I think we're already off to a great start.
Signs? If I was going to move him anywhere, which obviously I think is never going to happen.
Let's get into the video.
We've got all the teams on the board: Red Bull Racing, Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Alpine, Williams. We've got Red Bull Junior Team, Racing Bulls, the team formerly known as AlphaTauri, but will probably be rebranded as Racing Bulls or Visa Cash App in 2024. However, we can't confirm this as this video has been recorded before the official new name has been released. Got that, just stumbled on the end. Stake F1 team, and we've got MoneyGram Haas F1 team as well. So, who are we kicking it off with from the bottom?
The bottom, yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Work our way round.
I got some rogue ones. I mean, if you've seen our driver predictions, you know I like to go a little bit crazy.
This probably is quite a boring prediction. So I kept it the same.
Yeah.
I did actually keep
You kept them the same.
and Magnussen because, okay, wait for the reasoning. I think Haas, obviously, this year is going to be like the development year for them.
Okay.
So they're going to try and get to feel with and grips with the car, and then once they've got it, then the next year they go, okay, here we are.
Okay.
And then 2026, they get rid of the drivers.
Yeah, me, Magnussen, you're out of it. You're out of Formula One. And there's a seat spare. But I'm not actually going to say who I put in there because we're going to get to that later.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep that
Okay,
as a surprise for now. So
So
for me, Magnussen's gone.
Magnussen.
Magnussen's gone.
But why?
I feel like he's had a few years. Haas will want to change things up a little bit. Hulkenberg has been the better driver last season, and he will be the better driver, as I've said in my predictions, for this season as well. And I think Magnussen, he's had a few seasons, and I think there's a better driver who's going to go in that seat. Stake F1 team. I'm going to go first this time.
Okay,
I've got someone new, and I've got something old, something new. Bottas, not borrowed, and Pourchaire. F2 champion, Theo Pourchaire, he's doing Super Formula this year. He's going to be itching to get in a seat, and I think he deserves one as well. He's a great talent. I think Bottas will stay at Stake F1 team. He's waiting for that Audi to come in 2026 and try and be the lead driver there. And Sauber are going to want to try and get Pourchaire in that seat. So that's why I've gone with those two.
So I agreed with you with Pourchaire, however...
Okay.
Bye, Bottas.
Bottas is out.
See you later.
Bottas is going to do some cycling and some bum pictures and some coffee.
And some more calendars,
Okay.
yeah. And then I put Zhou
Okay.
in Stake because I don't see him going anywhere else for the time being, but I also don't see him being knocked down, being replaced. So that's why I kept him there.
I'm not proposing to you, don't worry. I'm just going to put Bottas there. Oh no, Bottas there on the side for now as our
You wanna keep
options.
them?
As our options, because we'll get to it later.
Okay.
I'll put Magnussen on the side as well.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm getting old. Knees clicking a
You
bit.
are.
Yeah. Right. You want to say it all this time? Don't think you need to. Right. So, Red Bull Junior Team. Let's just go with that. Who are you putting in there?
So I think we're going to be the same on this one.
Yep.
Liam Lawson.
There's rumours that as part of missing out last season, or this season coming, he is guaranteed a seat for 2025. And I
Yeah.
don't think they put him straight into Red Bull. So it's got to be the junior team. Who are you looking for?
Here he is.
Okay.
I don't know if you've gone with Yuki, but again, I think he needs more time before
Yep.
he moves into a different seat, which obviously would have been
Okay.
the Red Bull, but he's not near a Red Bull seat for me.
So I went with Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo will stay with the junior team. Yuki Tsunoda, not with the Red Bull junior team, but I will
put
tell
him
you
in
where
Red
he
Bull.
goes later on. But I think Daniel Ricciardo, obviously, it was unfortunate for him to have this injury with his hand. Didn't get to quite show his potential. I just feel like maybe he's a great person to have as a driver, as in your brand for exposure.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a great driver as well, but is he going to be good enough to prove to get the Red Bull seat if I take Perez out of there? If, he might not.
Well, I
We'll
kind of
see.
see what you're saying. I actually don't think he should be in the Red Bull seat.
Is he
but
coming up later?
He might do.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're not
We'll leave
gonna
him there.
move
We'll
him
leave him
yet.
there for the side. These two, leave him here for the side. Williams.
There he is.
And I'm going to go
Oh!
with Zhou Guanyu.
I did debate whether putting Zhou in there or not, but I just thought he might be quite comfortable staying in state. And obviously Albon, they're not going to get rid of him. That's the reason why I have not put Zhou there.
I think the other way around. I think that Stake might go for the experience, and they might want the experienced driver to build a car ready for when Audi come in for 2026, and they want their young driver in. So that's why sadly Zhou might get pushed out, but I think there's a beautiful Williams seat waiting for him. And I think Williams could be the better car for a couple of seasons as well. So I'm quite happy with Zhou going there.
You're going to think mine's quite rogue.
Okay.
So I couldn't decide, okay?
Okay.
So I've got 2 drivers that
Okay.
potentially could be in that Williams seat. One of them's quite rogue. and one of them's
No,
on
I don't think that's rogue
board.
at all. I think what I
Really?
can see, if you put him on,
Da, 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 da,
I think
da.
it's a good shout.
I think potentially Mick Schumacher. You know, you got the Mercedes Williams
Yep.
link, so maybe,
Definitely.
but I'm not too sure on it. That's why, and I didn't want to actually take Bottas straight out of F1.
Mm-hmm.
So then I put maybe.
So Williams are running 3 drivers next season
Yeah,
for
they
you.
are.
So they just alternating between these two. Is
It's
that
a,
what's
it's a
happening?
new rule, and they go, right, who do we want this week? Bottas, maybe.
Williams is a popular team right now. They've got 4 drivers racing for them. So you've gone for Albon, Mick. Which one? Why do you always sit on the fence? You've got to pick one.
Okay. I think realistically it would be Bottas.
Okay.
But then I could see them bringing Mick back in. That's why I was like, I don't really know who to go with, but I just don't think that Bottas will leave F1.
Yeah.
I don't think a team would let him leave. They try to grab him because he has that experience. But I didn't think he'd go down to Williams.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's down. I think it could be seen as a sideways move between these 2
Well, yeah.
teams. I don't think it's necessarily downgrading. And I think Williams, I kind of back them on the way up. I really like James Fowles as a team principal. I think he could bring them to a sort of midfield area. Maybe we're not looking up here too soon, but you know, I feel like there is potential for that fight. But yeah, let's have those 4 drivers
Yeah,
for
put
now.
them on
and
there. Yeah,
we'll
because
sort this out at the end.
Albon's brought Williams back up, and obviously James
Yeah.
as well. So maybe it's just because Logan Sargent was obviously near towards the bottom that's making
Yeah.
me go, oh, they're still like a
So
bottom team.
I think we're both agreeing Logan Sargent sadly
Out.
gone.
See ya. Alpine.
Alpine.
I think this is an easy one for me.
I think this is
don't
an
know
easy one for me.
If you've gone
If
with
I'm
the
looking at
same
it,
one.
I have gone, yeah, I think
Easy peasy.
both out of contract at the end of 2024.
Yeah.
But I think there's no reason to get rid of them. They're both French, it fits the brand, and also 2 really good drivers.
Yeah, an all French front driver lineup. So I'm not going to change that at all. I think we should move straight on.
I think we should high five because we've agreed on something. Like that is the first
We've
for
agreed on
everyone.
someone being out
Yep.
and a full team.
And a full team.
Who are
We've got
making
our
moves?
first team locked in.
We're not going to agree on this one.
Are we not? Okay.
not gonna agree
I don't
at
think we're
all.
going to agree on this one either. I'm going to go for the obvious one that I think is obvious because if Lawrence Stroll stays there, he's staying there.
I disagree there, Haydon.
Go for who you're going for.
The reason why Lance is going to move over there is because there's rumours that potentially he might go to like an American series, like Indy or something like
or
that.
the WEC team. They're looking at a WEC team for
Exactly.
Aston Martin. So there is rumours about that. Which, okay, fair enough. He's still finding his son a seat, but I still think he is good enough to be in F1. His track record of podiums, pole position in Turkey, like he's a junior category champion. Like that, yes, okay, his father's money does help him get a race seat, but there is results there to back him up. Yeah, okay, he is not a world champion material. I would never put Lance Stroll as someone who can win the championship, no. But I think he can be in the same category as someone like a Bottas, like a Perez, like a good driver, never a championship material driver, but someone if you want in your team to get you results, he can get you results.
I just
Mid
think
results, but results.
if he was in a different team, he would have been booted out. I think
Breaking
he's
my
only
heart.
in Aston
You're breaking my
Martin
heart.
because his dad is keeping him there.
going, breaking my heart.
He is a good driver,
cry.
but he's not like blowing me out the water type of driver. So,
You're mean.
see you later, Stroll.
No.
I've gone with Felipe Drugovich
Yeah, of course.
and Fernando Alonso. And I think that is a stunning, amazing team that could bring Aston Martin back on that rise.
Okay, well, I mean, Fernando Alonso, obviously, I've said before, he's one of the greatest, but he's not in Aston Martin for me. More on
Is
that,
he still on?
more on that later.
the grid?
More on that later. We'll get to it. Drogovic, for me, no. Yes, okay, he's an F2 champion, but I don't know what it is. I just don't see it.
Really?
I don't know. I can't back it up. So you can come at me in the comments if you want. Feel free. But I can't back it up. But I don't know what it is about him. But I just don't buy into it.
I do think he's great, to be honest. Obviously, he's a reserve driver as well,
Yeah.
so he needs to have something about him to be that reserve driver.
Well, he's an F2 champion, so there is definitely something about him.
Exactly.
And if he was given the chance, I would like to see how he performs, and I'd like him to perform well. But I just don't know. Maybe it is the bias of everyone coming at him saying he should replace Stroll, and it makes me like, Ugh. Yuki Tsunoda for me, and Lance Stroll for me. Now, hear me out. Okay, Aston Martin, Lawrence Stroll. Lance Stroll gets the seat. He's got an open contract. He's going to stay forever. Yuki Tsunoda, Aston Martin are partnering up with Honda for their engines in the future. So So Honda are going to want a Japanese driver in their car. Yuki Tsunoda has been snubbed by Red Bull for not having this seat that might be available to me, might not, we're going to get to that. So therefore, he's like, okay, where else should I go? Goes to Aston Martin.
I don't actually see that being a super crazy prediction because people obviously were saying that Fernando Alonso might not want to stay with Aston Martin if that Honda engine comes in because they've kind of got a little bit of beef
True, they do.
with the
That is a good
Honda
point.
engines. So, do you know what, Haydon? I might let you have that one, but then that kind of messes up all my other predictions.
Okay, well, we can track back to it. They're all a bit mixed at the moment. We can track back to it later. Ferrari. This is a difficult one.
Oh, so easy peasy?
No, it is easy. It's Charles Leclerc
Yeah.
and Carlos Sainz, both out of contract. So you could go with someone else in there, and maybe, you know, there's rumours that Sainz might be wanting to look at the state team because they're becoming Audi in the future and wants to be a team leader there for 2026. But I just think that option could still open up in 2026. So maybe like a year deal or a 2-year deal for Sainz, and then keep his options open for later on. But I think both of them, you know, at the moment, where else are they going to go where they have the chance to win races and maybe even, if Ferrari get it right, a championship? I think both going to stay there.
Yeah, fairly easy for me. I feel like Charles is never going to leave Ferrari. He's going to like live, breathe, die for Ferrari.
He's going to lose his hair by next year though. It's all gone.
Sainz, if I was going to move him anywhere, which obviously I think is never going to happen, say if anything happened to our French team over here, I think potentially because he could like bring them back a little. So if I was going to move him, I'd move him to Alpine, but I think that's highly unrealistic.
McLaren.
It's an easy one for me.
It's an easy one for me as well.
Get them on there.
Yeah, they both have contracts anyway, so they're staying there.
I mean, he's had an amazing year in his debut season, and Lando's just been talented as always, had a really good season.
2025 contract is up. Maybe the rumours of him going there could happen, but not right now. And he's till 2026, I believe. So both locked in. So pretty easy. And also locked in, I've gone for these two. I don't know if you agree, but they are locked in for 2025 anyway.
No changes there.
So then we go to the big boys.
Oh.
Right, I think we can both agree. I mean, he's got a contract anyway, so Max Verstappen
until
is staying
2028.
there. Exactly. So
we don't really need to debate
unless
this one ever again.
he wins the championship so easy, it's like, I'm bored, I'm going to go do some iRacing, Daytona once again. Second seat.
So my
Sergio
second seat.
Perez, maybe? Is he?
No.
So where's Perez going for you?
Perez is a goner.
Perez is a goner. Okay.
Yeah. He was
so I'll reveal my Haas driver, Sergio Perez.
Oh.
Goes to Haas.
Oh, okay.
Gets dropped from Red Bull. Stays in the sport though. I think he's good enough to stay in the sport. A lower end midfield team. I mean, it's a big drop for him to go from the top to the bottom. So he might be like, do you know what? I'm out, which is fair enough. But I kind of see it in the Haas.
I don't see it, but I mean, I did want him to stay in F1, but I just heard a lot of the rumours as well about Formula E calling his name. Would he take it? I don't know. But does he want to, like you say, drop down to a different team? So I thought, Perez, I'm sorry, you're a goner, I'll move you over here.
He's
you
out.
might put him back for Haydon.
And so who are you putting in?
Okay.
Ah, okay.
But
okay, you're a dreamer. I see, I see. All
just
right.
a little. I actually don't think he should be in this seat. But
Really?
there was no one else that I would put in there. If Yuki stayed there with Liam Lawson, I would then put Ricciardo in Red Bull.
It's fair enough. Obviously went to Red Bull Junior team for that sake to try and get back into the Red Bull team. Had a really good Mexican Grand Prix after his handbrake. So there is potential for more. If he has more of those results, I could see it. However, for me, obviously I've already said Ricciardo is there. No, I like chaos.
Oh,
I like a bit of fire. I like a little bit of drama.
Yeah. Oh.
Yuki's out. Yuki, come back. No, you're going there. I think, you know, he's got a couple of years left on him. I mean, to be fair, he's probably got 10 years left on him knowing him. But if he's only got a couple of years left on him, if somebody can get in that seat, it's Fernando Alonso. And if, goes two ways, if Red Bull dominate, then they'd be like, do you know what? We're going to win this anyway. Let's just put Fernando Alonso in there and let's just have the drama of these two fighting because we're going to win the championship anyway. Or if, like my 2024 driver predictions and the championship's a little bit closer and they lose out on the championship to McLaren because Perez is a little bit lower down, they're going to want a top quality driver. Whose contract's up at the end of 2024? Fernando Alonso. Who's going to be begging for that seat? Fernando Alonso. So,
I would love to see that happen.
I think we all would. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen.
And that's why I didn't
So I'm
put it
contradicting
there.
myself, but I'm putting him there. I want to see it.
Who's a dreamer now?
Me.
Yeah.
Head in the clouds
So,
all day.
We're both dreamers with this.
Right.
Realistically, that is the better team. That's the better driver
we need
lineup.
to sort this out though.
I think though, Haydon, I don't think Yuki's going to move to Aston Martin for a while. I think it might happen.
Okay.
Maybe 2026 potentially.
Okay.
So I think we keep that like that.
Right, I will. Oh, it's all mucking about. Drogovic is gone now. I will compromise that, but Drogovic is gone.
I think Perez is definitely not in Red Bull anymore.
Do you think here or do we think out?
I think
Still
out.
call him a name.
I'm just going to say it. I just think he's out. I think he moves to a different series. You know, he's old enough.
Goodbye,
He's had a
Perez.
lot of experience in F1.
Right, what are we sorting out with here and here? Who is staying here out of Zhou and Bottas?
You wanted Zhou and Williams.
Yeah. I want Bottas there. That's what I want. And then
Do you have like
Sadly, not
insider
sure.
information?
sadly
Has
not.
Zhou told you
A
that
couple of
he's
years
gonna
ago,
go
I
to
asked him
Williams?
where he was going, and he just sent me a gif of a baby. That was it. Didn't send me anything. So then, sadly for Mick Schumacher, he's on the sidelines again.
Yeah, I think we can take him out.
Sorry, Mick.
Stay as a reserve for Mercedes.
Okay, are we settled? We happy? I mean, locked
think
in,
so.
locked in, locked in, locked in. I
quite
think
happy with
I
that.
think we need silly season. I think we need silly season. Silly season needs to happen. Silly season is happening.
Hayden's called it.
You can't take him off there. He's staying there now.
He's now a Red Bull
now a
driver.
Red
You
Bull
heard
driver.
it first. 2025, Alonso races for Red Bull.
Do you agree with us? Probably not, but let us know in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe to the WTF1 channel for more content like this, and we'll see you on the next one.